Wicker Man is a GCI wooden coaster that opened in 2018 at Alton Towers in Staffordshire, England. This ride is located towards the front of the park near the Mutiny Bay section, but it kind of has its own area in the front of the ride. It's themed around a cult-like civilization that offers up the riders to the Wicker Man for sacrifice. Just your classic run-of-the-mill Alton Towers theme. There's even a really eerie pre-show before entering the station that has a projection-mapped figure of the Wicker Man. This honestly reminds me of the pre-show before riding the Haunted Mansion rides at the Disney parks, but this is more modern and scary. There isn't a ton of theming actually during the ride, aside from the actual giant statue of the Wicker Man, of course, that you go through a couple of times during your ride. The trains are your classic GCI Timberliners with just a lap bar as your restraint, and these are pretty much the best in the business when it comes to wooden coaster trains. The ride stats are pretty standard for a GCI with a max drop of 72 feet, speed of about 44 miles per hour, and a track length of 2,608 feet. Now that we got stats out of the way, let's see how it rides. The ride begins with a turn through a smoke-filled tunnel, and then into the strangely angled lift hill. The first drop is also enclosed in a tunnel with smoke and curves to the left before launching riders out of their seat about halfway down. You then rise into yet another tunnel with an airtime hill before sharply banking to the right, and then back to the left with an S-bend. The left turn is more drawn out now as you go through the Wicker Man structure. You then get another small airtime moment before turning to the right for a while with some silent laterals and enter the Wicker Man structure once again from the front this time. You get another pop of airtime as you go through it, and go through another quick S-bend turn before rising into the only real break in the ride. You turn to the right in an unbanked lateral-filled turn before dropping off it and entering another floater airtime hill. You pass through the Wicker Man one final time as you turn to the right, and then to the left again with some laterals before entering the final brake run. Overall, Wicker Man is what I would consider a pure fun roller coaster. Aside from the genuinely dark theme like many other Alton Towers coasters, pretty much anybody can ride this and get a lot out of it. It's certainly not the most intense Woody I've done, or even the most intense GCI, but I could ride this thing all day if I could. It reminds me a lot of my home park's GCI, American Thunder, with a lot better theming, but it ranks very similarly. It's easily my number 2 in the park, only behind Oblivion, which really surprised me. It's a shame there aren't more modern Woodies in the UK, as this was really the first one in the whole country for almost 25 years, and there hasn't been another since it opened in 2018. I think it was the perfect addition to a park that has a lot of high-thrill inversion-based coasters, and it was actually able to open, unlike the Cross Valley coaster devised about 20 years earlier. I've seen that valley and the plans for that coaster, and it probably would have been fantastic, but I'm glad they were able to fit a modern Woody here while also keeping the beauty of the park intact. This is a must-do when visiting Alton Towers, and honestly, I would recommend doing this first, as it's right in the front of the park and doesn't feature a single rider line like many of the other top coasters. Be sure to subscribe for more content and be on the lookout for more coaster reviews and other theme park videos in the near future.